My brother-in-law told me to change my dress before anyone else saw me in it. I was standing in the hallway of my in-laws' house holding a pie when Gavin stepped in front of me and said I couldn't walk into Thanksgiving dinner wearing that. It was a dark green wrap dress. Same one I wore to my office holiday party last year. My husband told me I looked great in it 20 minutes earlier. But Gavin took one look and said his parents' home wasn't that kind of place. Gavin's been living with my in-laws for about a year and a half since his wife Rhea left him. She filed for divorce after he spent their entire marriage telling her what she could wear, where she could go, and who she could talk to. She moved to Seattle, started a photography business, and never looked back. He moved into the guest room above his parents' garage and started acting like the household dress code enforcer. It started small. At his mom's birthday brunch, he said my skirt was a lot. At a 4th of July barbecue, he told me my shorts were too short. At his niece's baptism, he whispered to my husband that my blouse was distracting. Every time my husband said the same thing. He's going through it. Just ignore him, his mom said. He's fragile right now. Don't make waves, so I didn't. I swallowed it every time because I thought being patient was the right thing to do. Thanksgiving dinner, 12 people around the table. Turkeys carved. Gavin's sitting diagonal from me. We're halfway through the meal when he puts down his knife, looks across the table, and says, I still think you should have changed. That neckline isn't appropriate for a family dinner. Everything stops. His mom freezes with her glass halfway to her mouth. My sister-in-law Tess stares at her plate. My father-in-law clears his throat but says nothing. 12 people are now looking at my chest because Gavin pointed them there. He crosses his arms and leans back, satisfied, like he just said what everyone was too polite to say. I put my fork down and look around the table. I say, can I ask everyone something? Nobody answers, but nobody stops me either. I say, does anyone else at this table have a problem with what I'm wearing? Silence. Tess shakes her head slightly. My father-in-law looks at the ceiling. My husband's cousin mutters, no. Nobody backs Gavin up. Not one person. I turn back to Gavin and say, so out of 12 people here, you're the only one who can't stop staring at my chest. And somehow I'm the problem? Tess covers her mouth. Someone at the far end of the table lets out a breath that's almost a laugh. Gavin's face goes dark red. He opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. Nothing comes out. He shoves back from the table hard enough to tip his water glass. Water spreads across the tablecloth and nobody moves to clean it. He walks out through the kitchen. The side door bangs shut. My mother-in-law sets her glass down and says, you just humiliated him in front of the whole family. I say, he's been humiliating me in front of this family for a year and a half. She says he's struggling, and I know that. I say, struggling doesn't give him the right to monitor what I wear. She says what I said was designed to embarrass him. I say, what he said was designed to embarrass me. The difference is nobody ever stops him. My husband is gripping his fork like he's trying to bend it. He says, this isn't the time. I say, when is the time? Because I've been waiting 18 months for someone at this table to tell him to stop and not one of you has. He doesn't answer. My mother-in-law says if I can't show compassion for what Gavin's going through, maybe I should spend the holidays with my own family. I say, Rhea showed him compassion for 6 years. Look how that turned out. The table goes dead silent. She stands up, picks up her plate, and walks into the kitchen without a word. I sit there for 30 seconds before I grab my coat and walk out to the car. My husband comes out 15 minutes later. Doesn't say a word the whole drive. At home, he says I ruined Thanksgiving, that Gavin's barely functioning, and I tore him apart for no reason. I say Gavin tore into me first, and nobody said a word. He says it's not the same thing. I say, how is it not the same thing? He grabs a blanket from the closet and goes to the living room. His mom texted the next morning, said I owe Gavin an apology, and I need to think about whether I want to be part of this family. I texted back that I've been thinking about that since the first time he told me what to wear and nobody stopped him. She never replied. It's been 5 days. My husband's still on the couch.